here I am with another unique team to showcase for Spring Cup. Today we're putting on the test Shadow Abomasnow to check out how good that Pokemon can really be, having access to Weather Ball over Icy Wind just because we can get there fairly faster. And trust me when I say this, Shadow Abomasnow needs to get those moves pretty fast because otherwise it is gonna get destroyed down even by not very effective moves. It is super classy for the meta, but at the same time it will provide a lot of coverage, especially for other grass types. Now without any further ado, cue the intro. Let's begin today's content with Shadow Abomasnow on the mirror. All we need to do here is to go ahead and throw those weather balls, and if we win the CMP, which we happen to do so over here, we're just gonna try to switch out eventually to our Spinit, because our Aquanit can come in as a solid safe switch for the entire meta. It doesn't have access to Bubble Beam, at least I'm not using it with that move, but still that Backbite is gonna be a very good move, and even against the fighters, something like this Polyrath for example, you can still provide a lot of pressure by resisting their moves. What I like about our Aquanit is that even up against a Lantern, it can always have the upper hand with its bulk, and perhaps you can guarantee the knockout if they are kinda gritty with that Bug Buzz. So here comes now another move, we can easily survive it. Look at how easy it is for our Aquanit to do so, and now Lantern is gonna come into the battle to destroy down the remaining HP that this Polyrath is having. So Lantern up against the world, and my opponent also has a Lantern. Pretty much we got the similar team with my opponent, but to be fair, we're having kinda the upper hand with that Araquanid over Polyrath, and of course Thunderbolt is gonna connect here for big damage output. I'm trying to get my hands on the Thunderbolt as well, but my opponent knew better and of course threw the Surf without them spending any shield at all. All we need to do at this point is to go ahead, block the next move that Abomasnow is gonna throw, completely farm down, and now it's all up to that bait that we're gonna throw, because Weather Ball here is not gonna knock out, but still it's gonna be enough to grab the shield, and right after, Energy Ball for the win. Lantern is definitely going down, and we managed to start off the video with an amazing victory. Abomasnow up against Empoleon now, and this is not looking that great, especially with that Steel Wing that was added this season to Empoleon. So I'm just trying to switch out to my Araquanid because this is the only play I can do, and overall if we cannot align perfectly that Lantern over Empoleon, we might be looking into a very bad one for us. However, the Bug Buzz connects and Trevenant goes down in the one shot, so now Empoleon returns into the battle, and before they farm down we can easily get our hands to another Bug Buzz. Even when resisted, you can see that Araquanid can do a lot of work up against its counters, and now with Lantern having the upper hand over that Empoleon, well, we're just gonna keep farming down. Now at the very end they got Roserade and they back out, most probably because we got the shields, they got the shields, but at the same time we got the better matchup on the end game with Lantern over Empoleon. Now Polyrath up in front, well, this is not looking that great, but still I'm still gonna switch out to my Araquanid because this Pokemon might not throw any super effective move to that Polyrath, but at the same time it can apply so much pressure on them with its bulk, able to resist as well whatever they're gonna throw. We're just gonna get our hands here to that Bug Buzz, but at the same time they want to throw the remaining energy they have, which is absolutely fine by me. Now that we know that they have the Polyrath, perhaps Lantern might be the ultimate Pokemon for us for the endgame, so only time will tell. Able to completely farm down here, but not before we spend the shield in the process. So here comes the farm down, Polyrath returns into the battle, just gonna press the Energy Ball immediately here, and down goes their first shield. Now Ferrothorn at the very end, and all of a sudden we have a loose condition. I could have played this one much better to be fair, but it doesn't matter, let's focus on what we're doing right now. So the move is coming up, I'm pretty sure we can survive one, but not with much HP remaining, so Surf here is not gonna deal a lot of damage. About 50% remaining on that Abomasnow, on that Ferrothorn, excuse me. Abomasnow is almost fainting over here, so Power Whip needs to be blocked. I got the Weather Ball now to finish off the remaining HP that Ferrothorn is having, but since they still got the shield and that little amount of HP on Polyrath, they can easily block my next move and guarantee the knockout up against my Shadow Abomasnow. against the Greek trainer now with Jellicent up in front, so we're just gonna keep going at it with those energy balls. Obviously we're gonna win the CMPs and we're gonna get at the move pretty much at the same time. Did you see that pretty cool animation? Well, we applied the debuff on the defensive stat, which is pretty great if you ask me. So by blocking here the correct move and knowing that most of those Jellicents on Spring Cup are gonna run Ice Beam and Shadow Ball, we can take advantage of that fact and block the next move, thinking they're gonna get their hands on a nuke, but instead they went for the bait and the surf. I definitely did not expect that, but Roserade is just gonna get deleted down by a simple move. Now they have the Abomasnow of their own, and since they are still switch locked in there, I decided to come into the battle with my Araquanid. Otherwise I could let my Abomasnow go down. Now Bugabuzz is definitely gonna finish off the remaining HP Abomasnow is having, and of course now Jellicent at the very end is gonna return into the battle to finish off my Araquanid in a simple one shot. Hopefully for me though, we're kinda bulky that we can withstand the damage from the Shadow Ball, still reach to that Water Pulse, but to be fair, we got a Lantern at the very end, so the outcome could have been the same no matter what. Tropius now is a kinda good lead for us, and I say kinda because those ice moves might be double super effective, but at the same time they can provide so much pressure with their moves. I'm just gonna block the first one, even though it is gonna be a Leaf Plate. No, the Air Release. Okay, my bad over there. And now Weather Ball is gonna be coming back to back for that Pokemon. You saw how low we have been already, and with Poliwrath coming in, I have a feeling that perhaps Abomasnow might be super useful at the very end as well, but I was completely wrong about it, because they got a Dugong, but still Araquanid is super safe even against that Pokemon, because whatever they throw at this point, even the debuffs, even those drill runs are gonna be resisted, so Araquanid a big threat to the entire meta of Spring Cup. Perhaps that could have been an easy Araquanid video after all. Perhaps I changed the thumbnail of this video, we're gonna see. Anyways, Bugabuzz here is coming up, down goes Dugong, and of course with Poliwrath now remaining at the very end, Lantern is definitely gonna have the upper hand. Just gonna respect the damage here for that Dynamic Punch, and right after we're just gonna keep pressing the moves and of course the Surf, because they're getting kinda low and they are on Shadow mode. Another Surf is coming up, but at this point they have a lot of energy to spare. Dynamic Punch for the knockout. Araquanid now though doesn't care at all about those counters, and we can easily farm down with a resisted fast attack. Next up, we meet up with a Trevenant, which is a Pokemon that I'm not that much afraid of, because under shielding we can definitely do so much work. Eventually though, one Shadow Ball might raise us down, so we need to take care towards the end game. Anyways, Araquanid now with those Ice Winds, with those Drill Runs, nothing to fear here, able to completely hold down that one, and of course now Spinid is just gonna keep going at it with those Bugabuzzes. So by getting to the first one, we kinda have a high chance to debuff the opponent. As you can see over here, we managed to do so. So the Drill Run now I believe is coming up from the Dugong, but it makes no difference at all, because we can still guarantee the complete farm down with those Bug Bites. Not only that, but we get out of here with almost a couple of those Bugabuzzes on our energy points, and of course we managed to get one through to that Trevenant. So by switching out immediately to that Tentacruel, they managed to catch my Weather Ball, but to be fair, Lantern is always gonna have now the upper hand over that weird Medusa, Octopus, whatever like Pokemon, because the Cthulhu one cannot withstand the damage from our electric moves. And now Trevenant returning into the battle, and of course they need to throw here, but at the same time we're just gonna keep farming down with our Abomasnow all the way, because of that 2 shield remaining on both ends. So into the final one now with Lantern up in front. Finally we get a very good lead for us, and of course on the switch we're meeting up with that Ninetales. We also managed to catch the Weather Ball on Araquanid, which is kinda great for us, and since now they need more energy than ever, I'm just gonna go ahead, let them throw the remaining energy. It ends up being that amazing Dazzle Gleam and Water Pulse we're gonna see it now in action, able to land the move and still guarantee the farm down with those back bites. Perhaps they were expecting the Bubble Beam, but Water Pulse is still very viable for your Araquanid. Abomasnow on that poor Roserade, they cannot withstand the damage at all, and we also managed to get the debuff on their end. Abomasnow is coming in. Of course we need to block whatever they throw, because most probably it is going to be a fire type Weather Ball one-shotting us down, and now with those two shields out of the way, we can absolutely have the upper hand with our Lantern. But first we need to block the potential Leaf Storm, which happens to be this move. So now with the CMP they cannot switch out, and Surf will guarantee the knockout over the Roserade. Lantern is coming in from their own end, 2 hours, and we're gonna see now a weird battle of that Mirror 1. So yeah, let's get our hands on the Thunderbolt as soon as possible. They're gonna also do the same thing, but at the same time they need to throw the remaining energy that they have, because otherwise we're gonna reach to yet another big Thunderbolt. So at this point all we need to do is to reach to a simple Weather Ball. My opponent knows that, and they will eventually back out, giving us the final victory for this video. That is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching. As always, leave a like before you go, subscribe to the channel, and check any of these 2 videos that I have prepared for you. Till the next time, take care, trainers.